What's up, gamers? It's your host Cobra, and today we're talking earning money in Zed Run. I'm really excited to talk to you today because we're taking a look at how I make money in Zed Run. So first we're going to take a look at the plan that I put together. Then I'm going to walk you through an example of the first round of breeding I did this month a couple of nights ago. And then we're going to jump into my profit projections and the monthly income that I'm expecting. All right, here we're taking a look at a very simple spreadsheet that I put together to represent my monthly breeding plan. What you see there are 8 different horses whose names are in bold, and they are represented in 2 different breeding sets. One that is all pale violet, another that is all electric violet. A breeding set is a term that I think I made up myself, and it consists of 1 stallion plus 3 females. That's because the monthly limit for breeding is 3 times for males, 1 time for females. And so that group of 4 is able to produce 3 offspring per month. That's the maximum efficiency if you're doing in-house breeding. We're going to be taking a look at the first set in the example that we're reviewing here in a moment. So we'll dive into that plan specifically. I've got 2 legendary females, a Genesis female and a Genesis stud. That is going to produce 3 horses. 2 will be exclusives in the Z29 or Z28 range, and then also a Z20 legendary. The electric violet set is set up the same way and going to have the same output. The difference will only be in the colors. All right, here we're seeing Hatful of Hammers being entered into the stud farm. Only takes a couple of clicks. You click on breed, then you set the parameters. We are doing it for 7 days because this horse doesn't race anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me how many days he's not available. And 7 days gives us the maximum fee back. Now, one thing that you're going to notice here is that I have to switch MetaMask accounts to switch to a different stable. That's because having your stallions in a separate stable and not doing the in-house discount actually saves you more money if you're doing the full 7 days at the minimum price. You get 54 or 55% of that back as a payment to your other account, and that's cheaper than just taking the in-house discount. So that's why I've got my horses spread out that way. It also makes the organization much simpler by having the males and females separated. All right, now in this next section here, we're going to see the procreation actually happen. I've matched up the first pair, accepted the fee, signed with my wallet. It asked me a couple of times, and then shortly thereafter we're going to see the procreation. There it goes. It's not the most exciting graphic, but it gives you a message. Now we have to wait. Depending on how busy the blockchain is, it will take a little bit of time, but it's usually not very long, and this particular evening it only took about 10 minutes. So here we are selecting the second filly, going in for our second session. Everything is going to be the same because the stud is the same. That means the fee is the same. Since they're the same colored horses, it all looks the same as well. But once again, we accept the fee, sign in our MetaMask, and it goes through a little bit quicker this second time. All right, we go to our activity, back to the barn, and then we are saving the best for last. This is my Genesis mare, Antagonize Me. Is also the very first horse that I bought and the one that inspired me to actually play this game. And she's having her 4th offspring now. So once again, accept the fee, sign in our MetaMask, and then this one goes through relatively quickly as well. So this part is totally unnecessary, but I imagine the first time that you do it, you'll be a little bit impatient and excited like I was, and quite frankly still get. So here is my OpenSea wallet for this account. And one thing that you're going to notice is there's Zed tokens in there now. Now they have not arrived in my Zed Run stable just yet, but these NFT tokens are my horses. And as the metadata updates, we'll be able to see what I actually got. Now before that, they will also arrive in my Zed Run stable, and we'll take a look at them there. It's much nicer than on OpenSea. All right, now here we get to see the results of all 3 breeding sessions. This first one is an exclusive. We got white, ghost white colt. That's not a great outcome, but it's a rare coat at least. Now the second exclusive is another rare coat. This one's Misty Rose. It's in family, and we do like that color. It's another colt, which is not the best result. And then finally, for our legendary, we landed a Misty Rose filly. That is a very good result. So we got a rare coat on a filly. That's not a super coat on any of the 3, but getting a filly from the legendary helps maximize the profits a little bit. All right, now that our breeding is done, let's jump back over to the spreadsheet. This time I've put the price projections and cost back in there so we can see what the full plan looks like. Now for 2 exclusive colts, that's pretty much the lowest sell price that we're going to get from our legendary mares. Those are at today's market price going to be listed for 0.055 Ethereum. The Z20 filly, we can get a bit more for that. I'd like to move her quick, so I'm listing her at 0.1 Ethereum. She'll probably sell for a tad more than that if I was patient, but I don't like to have stuff sitting there for too long. Then if we take a look at the electric violet results, my projections are a tad higher there. Number one, the market's just a bit down right now, so I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit better, and those are a little bit closer to the historical averages that we see for these horses. Also, electric violet is arguably the most popular color in the game. It looks great on the racetrack. It's the brightest version of purple that's in the game, and quite frankly we just don't see a ton of them get listed, so they sell a little bit better for a little bit more, and we didn't get any of the pale violets in today's results, which cost us a little bit of Ethereum, but odds are good that we will get at least one on the next round, and remember, because we've built an all color set, each one of those is going to always be a super coat as well, so that will carry some additional premium. That also does impact our monthly projections a little bit because quite frankly the value for a super coat is just not in the market today. I don't think people realize what they have when they're selling one, just because it does very little. It's only got a little note on the details page today, but in the future they're going to look different, and that's going to make them special. So I think people are going to want to have a super coat version when it's an option, and they're going to pay a bit more money to get those, but we don't really see that too much today. So some of the super coats that we breed, we might just save them, put them into a little bit of an inventory so that we can hopefully capitalize on a little bit better pricing when the market wises up, likely post-update. So here on the spreadsheet, we've got the projections for the electric violet set that we'll be breeding in a couple of weeks. We'll update that with specifics once we've actually had that breeding session so that we have our exact results being tracked for August. But you can see below that I've notated the cost. It costs 0.04968 Ethereum to breed one full set. And if we take the prices that I've listed the first set at today, plus the projections for prices on the second set, and subtract our total cost of each one, we see a monthly profit of 0.36 Ethereum. That is at today's current Ethereum rate, $1,149 for the month. Now, if you remember back to my intro to Zed Run, that in and of itself is a higher total than my entire entry into the Zed Run game. Now, I have already taken out my initial cost, so these funds we're going to use to build up, and we're going to upgrade the stable in a couple of different ways in the future. I want to add some racing genes specifically that also fit into my color schemes so that we can hopefully sell some offspring at a little bit higher price because of the good racing genetics. I also would like to get a higher end horse or more Genesis horses. Upgrading some of those legendary mares to Genesis mares would be great in the long run as well. But we're going to let some of that profit build up so that we can reinvest and make the stable stronger and more profitable. And that's honestly it. It took me about 15 total minutes to breed 3 horses. It'll take a couple of days to get those sold on OpenSea. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll spend another 15 minutes breeding 3 more horses, sell those over a couple of days, and then have recouped over $1,100 in profit. If you're ready to start profiting as well, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode when we dive into Crypto Blades.